Alright, so I'm going to work on cleaning out Lenny's tank here. If you've never cleaned out a tank for a bearded dragon before, I'm just going to try to get the scat out. Fortunately, she's pooped on some items we can remove for the most part pretty easily, so we're going to do that today. And in a separate video, I'll show you how to fully clean out a tank, but for today, we're just going to clean off the what she's dropped here and then take it in the bathroom so we can clean it off. I'm just going to use some regular paper towel here, or some other, you can use some other paper napkins or something, just be able to grab up the scat there. And then these items here, we've got some slate and she's pooped on her log here, so I'm going to take those and we're going to clean them off properly and let them air dry. Alright, so here we are in the bathroom, and I'm going to show you how to clean off your bearded dragon stuff. So we have a piece of slate that we've taken off all the larger bits of poop and urate, but you can see it's still pretty stained, and so we want to clean that off. We also have a piece of wood here. The piece of wood, just generally, I don't like to use soap on wood. I just don't think that's a great idea because stuff can get into the grain of the wood, and it's probably not the best thing for the wood. So we're just going to rinse this off really well and let it air dry for a while, just so it can really air out. And hopefully this usually I would think would be enough for a piece of wood. Whereas for the slate, you probably do want to use some cleaning agent. So for the slate, I try to use something that I know is going to dissolve well, that isn't going to cause problems for my dragon later on. So I'm actually just going to use some dish soap. You want to use, I'm using a Palmolive Oxy one to hopefully clean it out pretty well, but it will not have things that you might have on like an antibacterial soap. An antibacterial soap is probably a little too strong for something like this. You want something that's going to rinse off well and not leave other chemical residue as much as possible, which is why I'm sticking with a dish soap. But that's what I would recommend. And if we just turn on the faucet here, get a good temp going. Gonna rinse our log. Turn it a few different directions. Quick look at it. Looks like we've removed most of the issues there with our beauty poop. I'm going to set this aside to let it air dry some. And then we're going to work on our tile. I'm going to put the soap directly on it. You can wear gloves with this if you so desire. I am not too worried about it myself. We're just going to really try to work it in there. Regardless of whether you wear gloves or not, when you're done, you're going to want to make sure you wash your hands well. Obviously, because you're handling scat for your animal. Beardie poop specifically can contain salmonella, so you definitely don't want that. You have a better chance of catching salmonella from food you get from the store that hasn't been washed versus beardie poop. But who wants to take a chance with something like that? So I'm just going to scrub the tile down really well. And beardie poop tends to have a way to get under for some reason, so I'm just going to scrub off the bottom of the tile well. And then we're going to rinse. That. The tile is rinsed off. Should be pretty clean at this point. We're going to let it drip dry and air dry here in the tub. You can dry it off with a towel, but I would recommend also just letting it air dry a bit before you put it back in the tank. And probably give it one more quick rinse because there's a few suds left on it. And then we will move on to making our food.